Welcome back. Let me take you to a barbecue shop in Panlong community. The atmosphere was lively, with customers accompanied by the rich aroma of grilled meat lingering in the air. Further inside the establishment, in a corner, sat a lone customer quietly waiting for his companion. He kept looking at his old phone for any message. Suddenly, a middle-aged man approached him. "Lan Yu, sorry I'm late. I had to work overtime without warning." Lan Yu poured hot tea for Zhou Husheng. "Take a seat, Zhou Ji. Order whatever you like, dinner's on me." Zhou Husheng recalled their first meeting. He was dropping off a friend at the train station when he saw a young man standing by the roadside shivering from the cold. Zhou ended up bringing Lan Yu home. Lan Yu wanted to express his gratitude properly to Zhou Husheng after letting him stay at his place temporarily. There was no rush to move out so quickly, Zhou remarked. Lan Yu shook his head. "I can't rely on you forever. Once I earn more in the future, I'll repay you for your help." Lan Yu found a job as a waiter. Within 4 months, he saved enough money to move out. As Zhou took a sip of the tea, Lan Yu's mind wandered to the first day he transmigrated. A story centered around someone named Yilingxi. He was posing as an illegitimate son of a prominent family by orders of a rival corporation. Yilingxi was intelligent and charming, attracting countless influential figures. His only weakness was Yanlu. They were childhood friends, but Yanlu was a terrible person who liked to take advantage of people. Yilingxi's admirers only thought of him as an embarrassment that they couldn't tolerate, so they got rid of him. The original had left home after fighting with his parents. Yanlu took this chance to leave, not wanting to interact with the protagonist and meet his end. "Don't you miss your parents?" Zhou asked. "No, Yanlu." Parents only stayed silent while seeing him suffering injustices, never speaking up for the original. He didn't want to be a disposable cannon fodder. In the next table, over discussing the appearance of an illegitimate son of a chaebol being acknowledged into the family after 20 years. Looks like the plot has started. Yanlu was invited to drink by the next table alongside Zhou. The next thing Yanlu knew, he was standing outside the restaurant being held up by Zhou Husheng. "Bill. The bill." Zhou Husheng found it amusing. "Those guys paid for us." Lan Yu blinked, his cheeks flushed, water on his eyes as he lifted his head to look at him. "Why?" "They're just nice guys." Zhou made a stop to a pharmacy for hangover medicine. He propped Lan Yu against a utility post outside. "Wait for me here." Lan Yu took in his surroundings. He shifted slightly, getting comfortable, loosening his collar. What was that?" Lan Yu squinted hard in the dim light. "A cat?" A black cat suddenly appeared and rubbed itself against his leg. Lan Yu bent down to pet it, but he was struck from behind, stumbling forward, hugging the cat in his arm. A violent crash exploded behind him. Lan Yu was dazed. He turned back. The car had smashed into the utility pole he was leaning against, now dented from the impact. The driver sat slumped, unmoving. Lan Yu, are you okay?" Zhou Husheng's alarmed voice cut through the ringing in his ears. "I'm fine," Lan Yu replied. "Holy, you were this close to getting hit." Zhou inspected Lan Yu for any injuries.
"Oh,
"There's a cat." Lan Yu looked down at what he was holding, but instead of the cat, his hands only held a black plastic bag. He clearly felt something warm and soft in his arms. "Come on, Yanlu, I'll take you back." "It's fine. I can go back on my own. I'm already sober." Zhou nodded and handed him the medicine before taking off. Lan Yu turned to leave, but was hit with a wave of nauseousness, retching until nothing was left. "Drinking feels awful." Lan Yu's lips trembled, bursting into tears. Through the haze, he felt something patting gently on his back. At this hour, barely anybody was around this area.
So, who was patting his back?
Cold sweat crawled up his spine. The faint glow of the streetlights seemed as though they were being swallowed up. Something was there, something was right beside him.
Yeah,
I know, I'm almost home," a voice suddenly said behind him. The presence of another living human gave Yanlu courage to look behind him. The space was utterly empty. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Lan Yu got up from the ground, feeling better, and his head clearer. Started to head back to his rented room. In urban villages, houses are built in a chaotic maze with narrow alleys and countless paths branching out. His rental buried deep inside. The street lamps were placed far apart from each other, so some of his path was pitch black. GHRR. A strange sound sounded faintly. Up ahead at the next streetlight stood a small silhouette roughly the height of a child no older than 4. The child cast no shadow at all. Lan Yu's steps slowed the closer he got, the clearer that eerie strangled sound became. GHH, go, home. Yen Lu thought maybe the kid was waiting for his parents as he trembled uncontrollably from fear. He fixed his gaze straight ahead, trying to pass the unnerving child. Go, home, go, gay ah. He tried to catch a glimpse of the child's face, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't see it clearly. The night was cold, the child was bundled tightly from head to toe. Only his eyes could be seen. Are you lost? Do you know where your mom and dad are? Go home. What Yen Lu saw after bending down wasn't remotely human. None of the familiar structures. Go home quickly. Yen Lu fell to the ground, scrambling away in sheer panic, running for his life. He frantically managed to shove his key into the lock, burst inside, slamming the door, and threw himself into his bed. A ghost. That was a ghost, right? In Yen Lu's small rented room, he had installed an altar for the original. He was the only one who could pay his respects to him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your body. Could you bless me a little? Please don't let me see another ghost. Yen Lu was currently working as a waiter. The restaurant paid him while his looks were decent. He was young and energetic. The tasks weren't complicated either. Sometimes they hosted banquets with 60 employees in total, and 30 of them are waiters. When he first started to work there, he had other responsibilities that prevented him from hanging out with the other waiters after work. Now that he has moved out, he wants to integrate himself into a friend group, but now everybody thinks he is antisocial. A group of waiters were discussing a drama they watched recently. Yen Lu took a deep breath, puffed up his courage, and opened his mouth. Don't gather around chatting. Go check if there's any area that hasn't been cleared properly. The manager clapped loudly from across the room. Everybody scattered. The manger, Duan Gaoji, gave Yen Lu full time and gave him a bed in the staff dormitory. Yiling Si continued to contact him. In one of their conversations, Yen Lu asked, "How are my parents doing lately?" "They only asked about you once after that. They didn't say much," Yiling Si answered. Even though they weren't his parents, hearing how indifferent they were still made his chest tighten with sourness. A few nights later, he caught sight of a box sitting in front of his door. Confused, Lan Yu carried the box into his room. Written on the box was 3 characters for baby. He asked the landlord, but he was just referred to the police. An officer accidentally stepping out of the building knocked into him, making the box contents spill out. Inside was a slip of paper and a key. The note read, "Baby, come home more often." The restaurant was booked for a wedding banquet. When the waiters were installing the floral arch, an accident happened. Yen Lu was slammed from behind, causing him to lurch sideways violently. The heavy arch toppled over, as well slamming directly onto his lower leg. Lan Yu, he was taken to the hospital. His leg was slightly fractured. The manager moved him to the front desk until his leg heals. On the way back to the restaurant, Duan Gaoji glanced back at him through the mirror. A jolt shot through him. His breath hitched, and he instinctively snapped his gaze forward.
Just now.
What did he see? Duan Gaoji swallowed hard. He prepared himself and lifted his eyes to the mirror again, but he still saw the enormous black shadow filling almost the entire back seat. Lan Yu looked at Duan Gaoji. "Duanji? What's wrong? Just now did you see anything strange?" "Something black, huh? You mean a ghost?" "And oh, no, nothing. There's no such thing as ghosts in this world." That's it for now. I'll post again later. The story just started to get good. If you like the story, leave a like and subscribe if you like this type of stories. Bye-bye.